the idea that you guys have three inherently diverse people, you got a white guy, a black guy, and an Asian guy, that are all young guys who have kind of made it in the media business, which a lot of young people would want to do, and leaving a blueprint for young people who want to go into the media is a really good idea.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the BluePrint podcast. Of course, I'm Clue, K-Lou, whatever you want to call me. Cody Lou here. I'm always joined by, of course, Parker Bell, P Bell, DeAndre Hawkins, D-Hawk. What's going on, fellas?
Man, what's going on, man? Excited to do another episode.
Good day. It's a good day.
What's going on with you, K-Lou? Clue, what's going on with you, my boy?
I see you with that
rocking my girl.
Yeah,
Sabrina, you know. She was rocking out at the All-Star weekend, so I had to show some love to Sabrina.
By the way, I think we're gonna come up with a new segment. You know, we're kind of.
That's right. We're talking about that. That's right. Yeah.
I don't know if I know about this. Let's hear it.
We're kind of talking about this in the office today, but you know, we're gonna kind of tie it in with, you know, what's the clue? You know what I mean?
What's the clue?
Ooh.
What's the clue? You know what I mean? We're kind of, you know, has a nice little ring to it. So obviously it's a segment in the making, but we'll kind of follow along and see what we can do with that title. But I'm excited to get that segment rolling.
Yeah. What's the clue? What's the clue?
What's the clue?
It's kind of funny because like we're just like we're in the studio and like obviously the shows are going on, and then like I think May said something about like a clue or whatever like that, and then Cody like pointed up. He was like, jump in the back studio. And I was like, and we were like, oh yeah, what's the clue? Or like, and we looked at each other like, oh damn,
that could be a thing. What's the clue?
The goat Steve Mason, right?
Yep.
God, Steve. Hey, should
Watch
we
out.
tease it now or should we tease it?
Watch out. Let's just say we got Steve Mason in the works. You'll be seeing an episode. Steve Mason will be joining the BluePrint very soon.
There you go. So if you don't know who he is, long-standing, sports radio figure, huge in the LA market now. They've been doing this for about 20 years, him and his partner, John Ireland. So just a quick little tease. We got some Steve Mason in the future and possibly Ireland, but you know, we'll leave that for another episode.
You know what? I don't know. I'm gonna throw Johnny Ireland in the bus. Should I do it?
Nah, it's all good. We'll make sure we're good. We love Johnny Ireland. Right. We love Johnny Ireland here.
That's right. So what we got started for today, Cody?
So we have tons to talk about because everyone's been busy doing a lot of stuff. Obviously they just ended the NBA Summer League. Shout out to the Cavs. I guess they get rings now apparently in the Summer League. That's so random. It's a nice ring though. I mean, DeAndre was showing me earlier in the office. Hey. It's a cool ring, but I don't know if the Summer League's really worthy of having a ring in or anything like that.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Amani Bates got a ring before Chris Paul.
Oh.
Okay. We're not gonna do that. All right. Let's see CP out of here, bro. No, but honestly, I don't know how y'all feel about the Rangers or something, but me personally, I don't agree with them having a ring. Obviously, get some recognition because, you know, Summer League is a week-long process. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're literally staying in Vegas, but I really don't agree with them getting a ring just for winning a championship. Yeah, you know, MVP of the Summer League, I agree with that. They do a first team, second team, like cool. You should do something like that. But an actual ring, because them was legit rings. I don't know if y'all really.
It was pretty damn nice.
There were some legit rings, but hey,
I'm gonna have to take a look at them. Yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but the Summer League is just, to me, it's like a glorified AAU tournament. To be honest with you, but it is right. It's like,
but at the same time, I mean, I think there's a lot of competitive nature to it.
I think there absolutely
boys trying to make the league. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I mean, the ring thing in particular, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it's Jason from Beverly Hills. I don't know if it's like the OG because he was there.
Pretty dang nice.
And he's like the one who's partnered, who usually makes the rings for the championships.
Yeah.
I had a chance. I think it was it was Thursday before the first day of summer. Like I got a chance to preview the NBA con, the first ever one. And he was there. This guy, Jason from Beverly Hills, who, if you don't know, he just makes jewelry for championships and stuff and other stuff.
Jason of Beverly Hills, yep.
That's right. But he was highlighting some of the rings that he's done in the past. So I got to see like the 09 Lakers ring, the bubble ring. So if he's making them for the summer league, I mean, that's cool. It turns into this whole like we got an NBA con, you get rings. It's like kind of making it more of an event,
Yeah,
which I think that's cool because
yeah.
I think NBA fans deserve something in the summer, you know?
To kind of kickstart that, People, you were out of the three of us, you were actually at summer league, and you were at NBA con. Talk about that a little bit, just because I mean, the only thing I actually saw about NBA con, besides like the in season tournament like stuff on TV, you were actually the only one that I saw like in terms of the stuff that we put out for the social accounts for ESPN LA. You were really the only content I saw out there. So talk us through NBA con and then talk us through some summer league stuff.
Yeah, no, it was a really cool time. Just being the first ever one was cool. They've done plenty of like meet and greets during summer, like let's talk with legends, let's do podcasts with legends. But this was a space where they could do all of that in one, like almost like a like a Disneyland for basketball fans. I mean, it looked like honest to God 2K, like my park.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You could walk around and it felt like you were gonna turn into a barbershop around the corner. But I mean, I don't think there was a barbershop, but
Go
tons
get
of
a little tattoo. Go send your
that's
VC on
right.
some
I
tattoos.
got all my VC.
You had all the VC.
Yeah. But they had some stuff that low key I wanted to drop some VC on. Like they had tons of swag, which were like exclusive, limited items that you can only get at this NBA con place. I mean, they had a full on court and like YouTubers, TJass, all those types of guys were there. I know.
Did you talk? Did you talk to anybody?
I'm about to say, did you talk to you guys?
So the only time I had a chance to talk with you, Jazz, like I could go straightforward right now and say like he's not gonna remember me.
Yeah.
But I did say like, all right, like what are you here for? What are you about to do? Huh? Like what are you gonna do for us? And he says, I think I got some stuff up my sleeve. And he previewed some of his trick shots. I think I put one up on the social for ESPN LA. It's funny though, a little behind the scenes of him. You know, the whole point is like, obviously those trick shots aren't hit on the first try. Like everybody knows that. Sorry if
You're telling me Dude Perfect doesn't get it on the first try?
Right?
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Right?
Have you guys ever heard of Santa as well?
No.
No, I'm playing. Nah, so this guy TJass, like he kind of gave us a little speech. He said, you know, I go out to places, to schools, etc., and I just try to teach these kids that it's all right to fail. Like I sometimes take 300 shots before that trick shot goes in. But you know, the point is it's okay to fail over and over and over because that one time is worth it. It was cool. He had a good little moment there. But anyways, NBA con in total. Yeah, I wish you guys were there with me, bro. Like straight up video game turned to life. And you made connects. Like I was chatting with gosh, I hope I don't it was I met a new homie named Bryson. Shout out to Bryson from he's a beat writer for the Grizzlies.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have to find his podcast. That's what's up. I'm gonna have to find his podcast, shout it out on our socials.
Yeah, please do. Tell that man to get Jaw under control.
Bro, no, but it was a really good time, you know, like they had a whole bunch of NBA ID stuff, so you can make personalized items like shirts, customize them to your liking. I think Amazon was the sponsor for the clothing. It was like Amazon Music, but for some reason it was weird. But they had such fresh like drops, crazy jackets and stuff. And then I don't know, I missed the days. Like I went the first 2 days and there wasn't much going on. There were a few players who walked by, but I missed the days where they had like legends come in and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So Kareem was there. I streamed it when I got back home, and it was a really cool talk. I think it's still up on YouTube if anybody wants to check it out. He was.
How long were you out there for, People?
Just the first 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I had to head back and you know, take a little excursion to Cabo San
Oh, okay, that's right. I was like, wait, did you come back for the All-Star weekend or All-Star Friday? But yeah, that's right. You went to Cabo.
Hey,
yeah, that's why
he was on his world tour.
Bro, I've been all around, man. That's why we've been kind of slacking on these episodes. So this one's gonna come out. And yeah, I did go to Cabo after Vegas, so I've been all over the place. I'm a little tired, but shoot, it was a good time. I really do wish you guys were there.
Did you go to any games, Parker? Or
yeah,
the
I went to a couple. I went to a couple. I saw the Cavs, the champs.
The
I saw
champs.
I wanted to see Imani Bates play. But the one thing I regret, obviously, is not seeing Wemby.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though his first game was kind of,
Yeah.
but he had like 9 points or something.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that guy. I'm already ready to go for him.
Oh Jesus.
I
Here we
mean,
go.
bro, what? He immediately adjusted, put up 27. I got high hopes for this boy.
All I gotta say is be prepared for that man to sit out half the season. That's all I gotta say.
I did hear. Oh gosh, who was talking about it? Was it anybody on our show? I can't remember, but they were doing like the over under how many. Oh, it was Mason and Ireland. They were talking about Popovich being the creator of like load management.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
Sure.
was the guru.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said how many games do you think Wemby's going to play? And I mean,
50,
doesn't he need
if that.
65 or 60 or 65 for the
Rookie of the year.
awards? Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
he's got
65. He's gonna play 65, I feel.
right.
Playing 50, guarantee you.
Damn, you think he's missing 30 games?
Bro, just the way that you can't believe every story that's out there in the media outlets, but just hearing it from these different, TV personnels and all that, man. I mean, they're not really high on him playing that many games this year. I'm telling you right now. I don't know if it's because it's more of they want to develop him, get his body right. But he made a lot of comments saying that obviously overseas ball is more physical. So I don't know if it's just more of just like getting, him a little bulked up. Like obviously the opposite of Zion. They wanted him to lose weight, you know what I mean? I think they're trying to have Wemby gain weight, you know what I mean? So I don't know if there's more of just like player development, not really worry about him being injured. So.
Well, I'll tell you what the Spurs won't let him do, and that's play a pro-am like Chet did last summer and roll his ankle against LeBron.
Chet was balling though. Chet was balling that summer league. He had a few good games.
No, yeah, I'm happy he's looking good. Like I am generally not a fan of. I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm not a Gonzaga fan. Yeah,
interesting.
But
shout out to Duke.
To that point, oh, okay. I'm a Kentucky boy. That's why I go Big Blue. I know you're a Texas guy down there, DeAndre. I know you don't like hearing any of this. No, but to that point, I kind of hope Chet has a good career. It's anytime somebody who's like projected high gets injured, it's always like.
That was always the worst.
Heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
But Parker, take us through like what was it like at the games, like in terms of like I don't know if you were like credentialed or stuff like that. So like what was it like? Like take me through a game day for you.
Yeah, no, I was lucky enough to be credentialed. I had a buddy who was nearby, so I was able to stay there. Luckily, that's why I got credentialed. But a day by day for like a summer league credential is actually pretty lax. For the most part, I was just talking with the homie I made, and then just kind of covering. Like I was just watching games and trying to see who these young talents are. Like I did get a chance to see our Lakers, so I saw our boy Demoy Hodge. I'm high on that boy. Woo. That boy's got a strap, dog.
Ain't nobody high. Like the moment I knew P. Bell was saying, like I had the highs for this man when he sent us a message of him saying that he is
something about
see himself as the next Contavious Caldwell Pope.
That's my guy right there. Come on now. If you see yourself as the next KCP, I'm gonna be the biggest fan of you.
That's so real.
Like I was talking to my brother about that. Like that's like the most realistic comparison you can like ever do.
Right.
So like it's crazy, bro.
Like listen, if I made it to the league and somebody said, "Who do you model your game after?" I'm gonna tell them straight up, listen, I watch my Kobe highlights. He's my favorite player, but who do I really model my game after? Archie Diacono. Let's be real. Come on now. Ron Baker.
You might as well say like Gillespie from Villanova.
Yep.
But P. Bell for the game, like, because obviously we covered like the playoffs and we covered like regular season games.
Yeah.
Were you able to like get on the court and stuff, or like was it purely just like kind of like beat writer where you were kind of like you could like kind of like go on the floor when they were warming up and like you had a like designated seat and everything like that?
Yeah, mainly beat writer status for this one. I think I probably could have pushed for a little more. I was just so all over the place. Like I had a trip the next day, etc.
Yeah.
But I was mainly focused on just like, hey, here's our future Lakers. I think I should keep up with them
Yeah.
because we cover the Lakers. So just get some social, step on the court a little bit. There were times at the NBA con where like I did have pretty good access. They were happy to have media there because it's the first one.
Yeah.
So they were pretty open with like, hey, do you want to have interviews with the people who set up this whole thing? Like you could do one-on-ones. I didn't end up doing any of it.
You should have.
I
Yeah, you
really
should
should
have,
have because I felt I regretted it because afterwards I was like, I should have just done it for reps,
Yeah.
even though we don't really need it. Because I said our outlet doesn't really need it, you know.
Yeah. No, I understand from that standpoint,
But afterwards I was like, shoot.
so who were the people that you could have interviewed?
Yeah, I would have to have it up in front of me. Like there are some NBA spokespeople.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like players or anything like that.
No. I don't think I would have passed up on that.
I was like, damn. I was like,
they're like, hey, you want a one-on-one with Cap? Yep, bring him over here.
Yeah.
How was your access? Like, like obviously like pregame, like because summer league it's a quick change. You know what I mean? As far as like after let's just throw this out there, say like the Mavs and Jazz play. There's another team that's playing right after, you know what I mean? So like the time period of like getting on the court and getting content is like, really quick. So like what was like how were you able to say you wanted to do, social coverage for the Lakers when they're playing right after a game like that? How would you go about it in summer league?
No, that's a good question. I'll say the one thing that was really helpful, which I didn't expect, because I thought it was just gonna be kind of casual. The NBA Summer League people actually emailed like almost to the T every single detail where teams would be. They gave us heads up like, hey, Kuzma's going to be here for a Washington Wizards presser. Like so and so for the Lakers will be here at this time. So I was able to step off and like see them at the pressers and stuff, which was really cool. But in terms of the court, like I said, I kind of was just acting like a beat writer. Like, let me just watch these guys, study these guys. We had so much going on back at the station to where this wasn't really a priority.
Of course.
So I just wanted to get some experience as what it was like really being a writer. Like I was just writing my own stuff, keeping it in my notes.
There you go.
Because you never know. You want to kind of explore every field in this industry.
Yeah.
All right. Not wrong, man.
Yeah. It was a really good time though. And I hope you guys all get to experience it once.
What's it called? For NBA Con. I could be wrong, but there's the after party, right?
There was. I say that like I was there, but no, there was. I saw pictures. It looked like a good time. And I did hear, I think I would have had access.
Oh.
Yeah, just based off of like being a credentialed member. I think so. And there were some faces there. There were some names.
Tell me, Michael Rubin?
Shoot, another all-white party? No, I don't know. I don't know if there were two separate after parties, but I saw pictures of like guys shouting out summer league and stuff, NBA guys.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, bro, this man had all the access. Man, summer league legit. They give you the real access.
It is, and plus, it's one of those things. It's a summer. It's not like full-fledged. Hey, these games count type of thing. So you can kind of create your own lane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. Well, shout out to P Bell for covering that. A shout out giving us the insight on what's happening in NBA Summer League. I hope me and DeAndre get to experience that too. I mean, I feel like Summer League is one of those, anything in the NBA, I mean, anything in sports in general, whenever you get a chance to cover it, you kind of just like, whenever the opportunity arises, you just kind of just like, all right, I mean, why not, right?
And that's right.
No, even going as a fan.
BluePrint. The BluePrint, here you go.
We're going to get credentialed pretty soon.
Catch the BluePrint at the next Summer League. That's funny. Oh, yeah. All right, DeAndre, I hear you were cooking like supposedly an upcoming NFL superstar quarterback. We'll dive into some NFL talk in a little bit. But DeAndre, I heard that you were cooking Bryce Young of Alabama University, the QB of the Carolina Panthers. Well, so what's happening? You were cooking Bryce Young or something?
Roll Tide or what? What's going on?
first and foremost, go Longhorns. You know what I mean? But
Oh my gosh.
we're gonna let's just start this out by saying, one, I did not cook that man.
That's not what I
Two,
heard.
two, if anything, he actually cooked us. And
Ooh,
three,
multi-sport athlete.
I looked at him like, cuz what the hell are you doing here? So it's funny, man.
Yeah, give us some backstory. Give us
Yeah,
how does
there
this
has to
come
be
to
some
be?
backstory to like why he was at church with you.
So I've been recently going to my brother's church too. So I got a
Mhm.
church back home I go to with my parents. Obviously, that's like the hometown church. Shout out First Baptist. And then the church I go to, my brother, it's like it's a requirement you got to attend, obviously once or twice a month if you're playing this church thing on Saturdays, which is kind of hard because I mean obviously I have my own church I attend.
Mhm.
So I obviously got to make that one a priority. But I was able to squeeze in a day where I was able to go, and my brother and his wife weren't able to make it that day. So I remember I walked in on a Sunday, obviously, and it was like about 2 weeks ago, and like I'm just like just chilling, and like it was really nice. It was a really nice day because they were gifting like straight A students, or if you had a certain GPA like over 3.0, and they're handing out awards, like pretty much like recognizing them, like hey like no my fault, it was for graduates. It was a graduation
Oh,
award.
for sure.
So I mean, there's people who, I mean, in there graduating with their doctorates, I mean, masters, all over the board. So it's really
Mhm.
awesome to see that they're recognizing them for all the hard work, because school ain't for everybody. So I just remember like they're just after the whole ceremony was done, we're about to get into it, and the pastor's like, "Oh, hold on, I told him I wasn't gonna do this, but we have a special guest." And yeah, obviously he gave a shout out to Bryce Young. I was like, hmm? I was
Bryce
like,
Young?
what? I was like, right here? I was like, yeah,
You're like
right.
that Bryce Young?
I was like, yeah, right. I turned to my side and I see him get up. I'm like, it's one of those you have to like double look like, and
Like,
like, I
I
had
know
someone
that's
with
not who
me,
I
so
think it is.
I know it with me, so I immediately went to my phone. I texted my brother and his wife. I was like, the hell Bryce Young doing here? I didn't tell me this dude be going to your church. And this is the funniest thing ever because I got the most like calmest reaction ever. Like, oh, he goes there often. I'm like, so I'm just gonna
Wait, where's the
casually.
church located though?
So it's located in Eastville. So it's at a school called Lutheran High. Uh, so yeah, we do it over there,
In
and
Riverside?
it's like,
Inland Empire. I mean, because he's a
yeah,
Rancho
it's in
Cucamonga alum, right?
Oh, okay.
yeah. He went to Modern Day,
Well,
so
that's right, modern day. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, bro. So I seen him get up and obviously did that, and then I guess like a week after, uh, I didn't play. No, I the week after we played, my brother didn't make it to that game, and I'm walking in, and this dude's playing. I'm like, so you go to church,
And
and
you
then you
play.
also play, and you're playing in the Saturday league. I'm like, all right, Bryce, all right, and it was fine because like he was like really calm, wasn't really doing too much. Like you can tell he was just there to like just you know hang out with everyone. Like he was generally there just to have a good time.
Mhm.
Boy, I don't know what happened. But I don't know, my brother told me that okay, we're playing against one of the guys like go to church. His name is Josiah. So that dude actually walked on at USC. I'm like, okay, so we got athletes in
For
this
football?
church
Yeah.
for football.
Okay.
So
Damn,
we're
this is
playing against his
the
team,
GOAT church league.
Yeah, what the heck?
right? So this past Saturday, that's the team that Bryce Young plays on. So I was like, man, I told my brother, what are the chances of him like playing this Saturday? And then they're like, oh no, he's got camp coming up. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I remember I looked it up. Like, oh, they got training camp in like 2 weeks or a week or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, bro, we showed up. We got there dumb late. Probably like we were like 5 minutes late into the game. So we get in there, and remind you, in our team, we got a 6'8" dude who played with my brother at Cal Poly. So I'm like, we're just trying to cheat over here too. So I walk in there and like, bro, kid you not. I'm like, oh no way. This man legit showed up. I mean, showed up. And the moment he saw me and my brother and my brother's wife getting like student up, getting ready to go on. Oh no, this man, like the whole team just like turned up and just like started playing dumb hard. And I remember I'm like, bro, there's no way like you're playing this hard right now. And it was funny. It was funny because I was expecting to guard my brother or like, our other boy. Nah, this man straight up said, no, I got him right here. I'm like,
To
bro,
you.
I really, to me, I was like, bro, I'm not warmed up or anything. Like, you already know how that goes. You show it late to a men's league
Yeah.
game, you're like, kind of just jog a little bit, get your legs a little loose.
Haven't put up a shot in a week.
Had to put up a shot in a week, yeah, bro. No, so I remember a possession. This dude, bro, getting like 50 million screens. I mean, they were sending screens like in a random area, and I'm like, oh nah, bro. I'm telling you, this man Bryce Young can actually play some basketball. He was out there like sidestepping, like and everything looked natural. Like it looked like he played before. So I remember the possession, like he hit one kind of far, like kind of deep, and he made it in my face too. I was like, oh damn, that's kind of like, okay. And then I came back down and like I kind of like split a double team, and like he tried to reach from behind me, so I kind of went by him and I got a layup. And then as the game was going on, this dude just started heating up out of nowhere. I promise you, he probably hit like 3 straight threes.
I need footage of
real
that so bad.
Oh, I was about to say you can't leak the footage because that's the thing. Like Anthony Richardson had his like he was like dunking and stuff, and like I know like
Herbert too, right?
Herbert was like dunking at I think he was playing at
LA or-
Oregon, yeah, or something like I don't know somewhere, and then like teams don't like that, so like the fact
Yeah.
that
bro.
they'll be leaking those tapes now, but you're gonna get Bryce in
Hey, look.
trouble.
Hey, we're
Look.
already walking the thin line.
Yeah,
right now.
exactly, right? The fact that you're
Bro,
leaking that he's playing.
I know I shouldn't be doing this, but still at the end of the day, like he's giving back to the community. 'Cause it's obviously a church league, so. But it's just crazy, bro, because I probably shouldn't be saying this, but that man was playing hard. He went out there like he got something to prove, bro. But it was cool to see. Like I was like, damn. So I remember it was like a possession. I asked him like, hey, bro, there's no way like you had to play like growing up. He's like, nah, man. He's like, I just put in front of my pops. Like I never played organized basketball or anything. I was like, oh hell no, bro. So game was tight. Mind you, the game was tight though. The whole game. It was like neck and neck. And bro, this man hit like this crazy ass like between drifting away in the corner. And I never in my life like seen my brother like I don't know if it's just because it was Bryce Young, but he made the shot and our brother literally walked up to him and like damn and like gave him a high five. And I was like, wow, like this man really getting his kudos right now.
Yeah.
But I think that just like after playing against him, and remind you, he's not that big. Like we're obviously like
that's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, P-Bell, you're taller than him. Like obviously I'm bigger than him.
Yeah.
And but
That's
I
wild.
think right,
He's just
I think like
a freak of nature.
Yeah, I think this, but after playing against them and like not like small talk with them, it made me realize that at the end of the day, like these guys are human, bro, and like don't like just treat them like a human being, and like these dudes can like they're athletes at the end of the day, like they can play some other sports too. I was not expecting him to be out there. Anyway, I knew he'd be able to hold his own, but bro, he was actually hooping.
He hit you with
Were there a lot of people approaching him?
No, I think just because like they're familiar with them. Like so he's like he knows the pastor. Like they know each other.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's like his area.
So everyone kept it kind of chill.
Yeah, man. Like he left the gym. No one's like, oh, right. Like no, they let him after the game. Like, hey, man, like good luck this season, stuff like that. And he, went about his business.
I would have asked him straight up. I was like, "What happened against Georgia?" But that's only. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
No disrespect, but I just want to know, like, do they have? I really want to ask them, like, how do they game plan for a guy with your size at the quarterback position? Because you can't. I mean, Bama got some big dudes on that O line, and obviously NFL.
The Panthers,
these dudes are 6'5", 6'6". I mean, they're huge, man.
Well,
I
I'm
just want
sure
to know if
45% of the O line in the league is from Bama, but that's or
yeah,
Georgia.
Bama, or I would say Bama
Yeah.
or Georgia.
Yep.
But I think the
Who's their
question
coach again? Panthers? Was it Frank?
Saban
The
for Bama.
Panthers? But yeah, what is it? Frank Reich.
It's Frank Reich.
Frank
Frank
Reich.
Reich. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Bama, but
Yeah. So how does Frank Reich game plan for somebody who's five?
yeah,
Whatever.
you know what I mean. But I feel like with him, like there's no doubt about it that he'd be pretty good because I mean, look what he did in Bama. I mean, man he held his own. You know what I mean? So
I'm surprised that. Go ahead, people.
I was just gonna say. So you think immediate from Bryson?
I don't think immediate impact, but I don't think he'll be like because he's in. I mean, he's in number one, right? They don't got. Do they have Darnold anymore? Is Sam Darnold on that team?
Sam Darnold's on the 49ers now.
He's a
49er,
baby.
There you go. So like, I mean, he's a number one right now. That's from what I remember. I mean,
he started. He's gonna start. There's no doubt.
So I just feel like I'm just curious to see how they're gonna game plan offensively for him because there's no CMC that can help him out. And you know what I mean? So it's gonna be, I like playing against him. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on like how you really do this season because it's interesting. It's an interesting story, man. Like just like the way he carries himself, man. Like if you guys really meet this dude, like he's down to earth, really humble. I mean, the first time I met him, I mean, he was outside taking pictures of everyone, shaking everyone's hand. Like he reminds me of like we were talking about this morning, Cody, about like how Jalen Hurts kind of carried himself. Like that's how Bryson carried himself.
Very similar. Yeah.
Not cocky.
Like
he was on the court. And he was obviously doing his thing, but afterwards came up to him and was like, "Hey, good game, man. Y'all can hoop." You know what I mean? Like it was like you can tell he was
okay.
You can just tell like he was there just to have a good time, man. Not trying to prove nothing, which is cool.
I can't believe it's still weird to me that like the fact that you said that you and Parker are both taller than him. Like that's wild to me. Like
if anything, P Bell might be the same height as him, maybe.
Yeah, we're close.
You guys are close. I was
crazy.
kind of like looking like hard, like
that's wild.
No, and that's crazy because we've stood next to plenty of QBs covering the games, and it's like even sometimes DeAndre, these guys will stand over us. Like Stafford, he's a pretty tall guy.
That was a big dude.
That's a big man right there.
I think guys like it's actually it's funny. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but trying to think of quarterbacks who are kind of tiny. Like Russell Wilson, covering him, he was actually tiny, but he has some size on him though, low key.
Yeah. That he's built.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like Bryce, no disrespect, man. Like I said, I give nothing but respect to him. I give him his flowers. But he's not a solid dude, man. I'm letting y'all know he's not a solid dude.
That was his whole thing. Like coming out of the draft, everyone was like afraid that he was too tiny. He was kind of like he's relatively like I would say a slender build.
But you guys already know the game now. Like you gotta be quick on your feet, and he's quick on his feet. I mean, I was surprised how he like I think it's the football thing, like being able to read and react on like people's hips. Because like I'll make a move or whoever make a move, like he was really quick to like jump like. So I can tell that he's really good on his feet as far as the quarterback position. So like I said, man, we're gonna keep a lookout for him. Hopefully one day get him on the pod, man, because I said
you got a fan in us, Bryce.
Yeah, you convinced me. I'm taking the over. What is it, 7.5 for the Panthers this year? I'm going over.
I still would have asked him what happened against Georgia, but still always love and respect.
Shout out Bryce Young, man. I ain't trying to put you on blast, man. Hopefully, this video don't pop off like that. So.
No, hopefully it does pop off. But we're sorry.
Yeah,
we're sorry if it does pop off.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as the footage,
Yeah, no footage.
We'll just say there was a famous quarterback that played at Alabama who's now playing in Carolina was playing against DeAndre.
Yeah.
It could be anybody for all we know. So to finally get to our last topic of this episode, we just covered our celebrity softball game. ESPN LA 710 had a softball game, Team Mace versus Team Sliwa, and this is Parker and I's second softball event for ESPN 710. DeAndre, this was your first. I'll give my quick thoughts about it. To me, it's like I don't like the Mandy's, and if you follow like ESPN 710, like they do signature events like throughout the year. We have the Mandy's, we have a golf classic, and they have a softball game that we were just at. Like, to me, like in terms of the upper echelons of radio stations, like there's nobody that does it like ESPN 710 in my opinion. Like the fact that like we do events like this to like, you know, shout out to the listeners and like, you know, have fun at a softball game. Like it really is like our own mini version of like the celebrity softball game like they do in the MLB. DeAndre, this was your first time at the 710 softball game, and in general, like I don't know about you guys, but I rarely make it out to softball games and like celebrity type stuff like this. I would say like celebrity type stuff like this. DeAndre, what were your first impressions of the ESPN LA All-Star Friday night?
First thing I thought of was like, damn, it's hot out here. Nah,
Facts. It was like one of the hottest days of the, like I was already burnt and Parker was already burnt. Like we were out there cooking.
We were sweating. City of West Covina had us drenched.
Yeah.
I think just because like I said, it's my first softball event, or I would say a sporting event that, you know, I've been a part of for ESPN LA. Comparing it to the Mandy's, I feel like this one was a little less chaotic, but at the same time, I felt like we did a good job as a team as far as communicating. I think that was the best thing I took away from it. Everyone had a specific task. Everything was written down or printed out, I would say. And, you know, had a list like, hey, we need this cover, we need this cover, we need this done, we need this done. It was like and PBL, when you were doing it, you were checking off everything you were doing. I mean, we were communicating back and forth. Cody, if I needed help, I was able to reach out to you and you were like, okay, let's do it. Vice versa. What I realized too was like as the day was going on, obviously it's a hot day. No one wants to be out there in the middle at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the hottest part of the day.
Yep.
But I realized when it started getting to 7 and that sun slowly started going down, I was like, damn, we actually got people willing
crazy
to watch.
It's crazy.
Our radio / we got a couple TV personnels literally play softball. And I'm like, just seeing like the reaction, just seeing like the crowd shots we've got. Cody, you did a good job. Like I said, taking pictures and seeing the aftermath of those pictures were great. Like it was just wild to see that, how many people really come out to an event like this and just covering it. I mean, just trying to find different angles. My attention was to kind of, you know, follow Trav around because we had our wiffle ball bash. That was pretty cool to see. And then just seeing like different things. So I was pretty much the guy in charge of Threads, which I was a little bit disappointed that Threads didn't really do too well because I felt like we did a good job as far as like getting stuff out there. But I guess recently like Threads kind of been going downhill. Like I lost like 20% engagement.
Yep.
But I think the biggest thing as far as my take, like what I did, which is whatever I post, man, just keep on updating, man, because you want to keep the thread rolling, man. And no, I felt like that day, like no content was bad content. So
no pun intended on that one.
No, yeah, I think the thing is like no matter what happens with engagement rates and like impressions and like anything engagement wise, it's like hard to like kind of gauge that, especially for like something so new. And the only reason why like Threads kind of started out was because Twitter was on a downfall, and I think like the people that are in charge of Threads kind of saw it as an opportunity to like kind of take over Twitter for a little bit.
Yeah.
Important thing was like you said, you kept rolling with the consistency of just posting out, and that's like the only thing you could really ask for is like staying consistent with like how you're posting, because eventually the engagement and the views and like whatever the likes, comments will eventually come as long as you're posting consistently good content. And I think that's what I would say for the most part for all the platforms that we have out there. We were pretty much putting out everything at a consistent rate, and obviously the content will kind of like will be good no matter what, just because we know what we're doing, and then the content is like with the talent and stuff like that's easy nature for them. So P-Bell, it was your second time at the ESPN LA All-Star Friday night. Take me through what it was like versus like last year's versus this year. Just because I feel like it was definitely different this year.
Yeah, it was for sure, and I think I can touch on that a little bit. But I first wanted to say that what DeAndre mentioned, that's cool. It brings up a like interesting topic, how we as social media, workers in this business, we got to keep up on, hey, what's working and what isn't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to not get discouraged and just put it out anyways.
Yep.
Like watching the trends is really interesting to see, but at the same time, it's cool to just post on all contents anyways, because you never know what's going to pop off on what platform.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, gosh, I don't really know how to put it into words. What was different? I guess it might have been hotter, but that's like just a physical thing. The only difference I can truly like state is that last year was like it was our first one.
Yep.
Ever. And this one, we learned from it. So just a testament of like when you do things over and over, you just get better and better. So I can for sure say that our content was better, our communication was better, and that's what's fun. But for me though, I don't know. There's not much to say. I think DeAndre kind of you guys both touched on it perfectly. Maybe I could leave us with like 3 things. One, they should have let us play.
Yeah, facts.
What are we doing, boys?
Facts.
Let me just throw it out there that I genuinely believe if they didn't want us to play, because it would have been a takeover. You thought us doing the same team, including Josh, bro. That's just maybe you throw Carla with us too. Come on, dog.
Yeah, they went on camera on whatever and said, "Oh, the official reason they can't play is because they'll be working."
Yeah.
Nah, they were scared. That's what it was.
They were scared. I seen it in Greg's face. I seen it in his face, man. The moment Slee was trying to get us on the team, he was all like, "No, they can't. I mean, he didn't even like let Slee finish his sentence.
He was just
like,
no.
Let me just throw that out there. Like, this ain't no pickleball. Y'all gave me a hard time at pickleball for a sport that I never even attempted to try to do. But softball, let me just say something. We would have been out there doing some damage, doing some work. That's all I gotta say.
No, they were complaining about the fence being moved back, and I'm like, you see me? You see this dump truck behind me? I would have been hitting dingers, boys. Come on, man. 3 for 3, 2 home runs, easy. I'm calling it.
What's it called? What would y'all do knowing that you guys worked the softball event twice? Is there anything that you would have done differently as far as covering it or whatever, like with the listeners or with our partners? Is there anything you think you would have done differently? Because I would say one thing which was kind of brought up, is that I realized our partners are all separated. Like we had some on the concrete and we had some on the field with us. But I feel like if they're all in one row, maybe it could have brought more engagement because people started getting hungry as the day started going on. So obviously you eat something, we got Celsius out there, or, Simply Spike, all of our partners out there, you never know if they wanted something to drink afterwards. So I don't know, I think that was one thing I saw, like, hey, maybe next time have all of our partners, in one area. So I don't know, what do you guys do differently knowing that you guys covered it twice?
You, Bill? Me?
Yeah, no, I'll take it. I think that's a good point. I mean, partner layout and everything is tough. That's why some of the guys get paid the big bucks, and we're just
of course
we're there to get content.
Yeah,
of course.
But I think what you brought up about the fans, I mean, that was going to be my second point, was like, I don't know if I'd necessarily do something different, but maybe just more of it. I think I learned that, and I continuously learn every time I walk into the office, go to events, go to games. People really, really love their station. Like if that's their station or their whatever it is, if you're a fan of ESPN, or if you're a fan of, Fox Sports, they go hardcore for that. And they go hardcore for their talent.
and they just want to be involved. So I loved being able to interact with the fans, and I think I would have just done that more. Like I would have taken the time to do some more questions with the fans and have fun with them. Because I did a few, but they love it when they get interaction. So
Yep.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Clue?
I would say the one thing I would change is differently from the past 2 years. Well, the one thing is I think they definitely, because we had some partners play in the actual game. I think it'd be cool if we offered up a spot for, like you guys just said, like a fan to play in it, like one of our listeners to play in it. We definitely have like listeners that are really dedicated and stuff, like to open up a spot for them. That'd be really cool. Like I don't think people understand. Like it's crazy to me. Like it's still every time like we're at an event and like a softball, like a Mandy's and stuff like that. I don't think people like it's crazy to me like to realize like the magnitude of like how big our like station really is. Because it's like crazy to like see like, damn, y'all are really showing up, like thousands of people showing up for a local, like if you put it down to like the simplest terms, like thousands of people are showing up to a local sports radio station's like softball event. Like it's crazy. Like
on a Friday, on
a Friday night, right? It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
People like we heard story, like I was hearing people like, yeah, I called off today, like to be here. It's like that's wild to me. And it's not even like and it's not like I'm saying like I'm like trying to downplay everything, because obviously we have like great hosts, John Ireland, Steve Mason, Travis Rogers, like Scott Kaplan, George Sedano, like the list goes on. We had like Ramona Shelburne, we had Clinton Yates, like people that are on TV and everything. Like, so I'm not trying to like downplay and say like it's crazy that they're showing up for like random people, because there are like the talent that we have at 710 is like crazy. But I would say the one thing is like definitely trying to incorporate more fan stuff for sure. I think that was a great point brought up. But like I think it'd be cool to have like a listener play in the actual game, just because like imagine like they won like the star of the game or something like that. Like it creates a better experience for the listener, which I think ultimately is the goal for like everyone there, is like to create like an event for like the listeners to enjoy. And I think like the way we were covering it, like you guys had the opportunity to interview the fans and everything like that, which I think is cool. And like obviously you guys are trying to like get into the industry, and like you guys are getting reps in that way, like and at this point, like in social media, like those are the things that hit, right? It's like the fact that like doing like the fan on the street type stuff is really cool. But like for you guys, like I'm gonna throw it back to you guys now, because you guys both did some stuff with like partners, and you did stuff with like some listeners. When you guys are going through it, do you guys see it as like a rep thing, or do you guys kind of see it as like a because obviously you guys are getting reps, like because we did it at the Laker games and we were doing it at like different spots and everything like that. But for you guys, like, do you guys ever get like nervous or like to like talk to fans and stuff like that, or do you guys kind of see it as like you guys just trying to make the most of the opportunity?
I personally, I think I look at it as I'm trying to make the most of the opportunity. I guess I don't really have the idea of reps in my mind at the moment. But it could, because it's usually like I want to get this out for the partner, I think because we've become so ingrained in like ESPN LA that it's basically part of us now. So there's something in the back of my mind where I'm like, shoot, I really want us to work out with this partner.
Yeah.
So I want to put out the coolest content with fans for the specific partner, and hopefully the video blows up.
Yep.
Later on, when I'm looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, that was a good rep.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I'm just focused on, hey, let's see if we can get likes for the business.
Yeah.
I feel like people said, like in the moment, like honestly, I'm not looking at it as reps. I'm looking at it as I'm getting this content out, number one, because we have partners that are watching this. Also, number two, like it's our job. So if we're gonna put it out there, we're gonna make it A+ effort, regardless of what it is. And like people always go, oh, you can use that stuff for your own personal benefit. I don't look at it like that, to be honest with you. I look at it as like I got the polo that says ESPN LA.
Yep.
I'm for ESPN LA. I'm putting this out for ESPN LA. You know what
Yep.
I mean? So I don't look at it as like don't get me wrong, like the reps are, I look at it as the reps are in it itself. Like if you do good work, your reps are flowing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, as far as like getting nervous at first, when I really started, we really started taking away with like fan on the street. I was nervous because it was like, what angle can we go with this? Like, what are we gonna ask
Mm,
fans?
mm,
Yeah.
I feel like as we've gotten closer, as far as like friends, like friendship and like going to Lakers games or going to these events. I mean, we did a lot of watch parties and stuff like that too. I think we just tie it in with what the event is about itself and like come up with like 2 or 3 questions. I mean, just being prepared, I feel like that helped me not be as nervous. Because don't get me wrong, you still have the butterflies because you want to, obviously you got to pronounce their name right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you got
There's
to
a
make
lot that
sure
goes
you got
into
to
it
make
for
sure
sure. Yeah.
a lot of goes, and you got to make sure that like you kind of. I have a lot of slang. I talk with a lot of slang. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I got.
yeah.
I'm not trying to sound too proper, but you know what I mean. Because you want to be true to yourself, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. At the same time, you gotta watch what you say, and you want to get good responses too. You
Yep.
don't want to know when that's really dry, really one word, because right at the end of the day, you want someone that's really responsive to get the most engagement. So that's why I look at it as.
Yeah, the way I see it is like if you're trying to like get into that like type of the business, like you're trying to like become like an actual like host or like an analyst or anything like that or like play by play. It's like I feel like for you guys especially, it's like you guys are kind of using it to kind of like find your style, find your voice, and
Mhm.
it's such a tiny way. It's like 30 seconds, right? It's like ultimately like 30 seconds to a minute of you taking your time with them, like, and it's a good way to like find your voice. That's why like no matter what you do, and that's why like a lot of like if you're trying to get into that like side of the business, you're trying to do play by play, you're trying to become a host or anything like that, it's so important for you to just go out there and just do it. Like you don't have to go to the games. Like we did it because like we had the access and like we were credentialed media members. But hell, like you see the ones that get viral are the ones where they're like outside of like crypto, like they're
Yeah.
they're just like out and about, just talking to random people. And a lot of it, and I think this is the one thing that you kind of have to like finding your, well, I'll say from your standpoint, it's finding your own voice, and then it's finding your style, like how you talk and like everything like that. But on top of it, it's also finding like it's a two-way street. You also have to find a fan that is also willing to engage and willing to be fun like on the camera as well. Because if you have a bland person, you can have the most amount of personality like in the world, but if they're like just like if you ask them like, hey, who's your favorite Laker of all time, and they're just like DJ Banga, you're just like,
That's the guy I do want to interview.
yeah, like that's true, right? It's like if they're like LeBron James or something, and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like that's why you kind of want like that's why it's important for you to like go out and seek the right people like to be engaging with, because they make the content better as well. So that's the one thing I'd say like from takeaways like on this stuff. It's like it's all reps at the end of the days. And the good thing about what you and DeAndre said was that you guys think about it from like a business perspective. Like that's if you ask like if you ask anybody, any of the hosts at ESPN LA, like they kind of think about it like that too. They talk to the marketing consultants and they think about it like, yeah, like what can we do to make this partnership better, right? It's good that you guys think like that, because that's in the reality when you guys do get to, if you guys like want to become a local radio sports host or like anything like that, like the business size, the sales size is like just as big as the part of like, doing the play by play and everything like that. So
Yep.
the one thing I'd say is like,
So,
the crazy thing is like the fact that we took that lesson away from an ESPN LA like softball event. It's like something that like doesn't really even correlate to like the actual event. Like there's just so many lessons that you can learn in these events. And luckily enough, we're fortunate to be a part of these things and be able to have the opportunities to do something like that. I was me personally, I'll say it. I was cooking with the camera. That we got some new equipment, and I was cooking. So
We got our very own Andrew Bernstein up in here, man.
a lot of the photos and stuff like I was seeing, I was like, damn. I'll give credit to the camera, but we were talking to our boy Carlo, and he's like, yeah, give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit too. Like it is also the photographer.
This man is there go here like, oh man, the pictures came out pretty good. Then he want to give credit to himself. Like, come on, give credit to yourself. Give credit where credit
humble
due.
king.
Nah, I'll admit it. I'll say it now. I was cooking with the camera, sure. That was fun. Being able to like just run, and that's the crazy thing. It's like the one thing like I remember talking about, and I don't know how you guys felt about it, but like it's different, right? It's different for like when we're at Laker games or like Rams games. We're not able to like be on the field like during the actual
Yeah,
game. So for us to kind of be like in the action, like literally, like if I really wanted to, like if I wanted to stand like next to the pitcher on the mound, like realistically I could have, right? It's like I could like realistically like do really, because it's our event, so we get like access to whatever, like wherever we want to stand. Like that was the fun part, just kind of being around the field and everything, just being able to like get different shots, just because you're able to be so close to the action. One final takeaway for you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys this: if you guys could get ESPN LA to do another event, right? Another signature event. And I guess I won't throw it to ESPN LA, but in general, I know you guys wanted to be a part of the softball game, but if you guys could choose a different event for ESPN LA to throw on, what would you guys want it to be?
So, two-parter, because I know this has been done before.
Yeah.
And I need them to bring back the ESPN LA Basketball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we would want to play in that. We would definitely want to play in that. We would want dibs on that.
I will literally fight tooth and nails to get a spot on any team. I'll say, hey, I'll pay my own personal money to another social media person so they could do my job just so I could play.
Yep.
Oh man, now I would agree with basketball, but knowing how our our radio hosts are and knowing what happened at this softball,
yeah, they got hurt. So many people got hurt.
I'm gonna just say something like bowling.
Bowling.
Hey, our boy Chris Paul. Let's set it up.
I'm gonna take
it, man. They need to.
Oh, Mookie's a real bowler now.
That's right.
I'm gonna take a different route. I'm gonna go flag football. Actually, I think that could get super fun. That could get really like competitive, like especially like just because it's in the same realm as like softball. But I feel like it's competitive enough, and I feel like we have we have enough people for sure. Like we do a 7-on-7, like get subs in and out. Yeah. I feel like flag football would be fun. I feel like all the hosts would get into it too.
Man,
that's interesting.
Dodgeball.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I know DeAndre. Yeah.
Hold on. I think we might need to pitch.
Dodgeball could be a thing.
We're gonna need to pitch that to the fun and games department.
Yeah, fun and games department. Yeah, that's right. Dodgeball would be definitely interesting.
Sign some waivers.
Like that's the crazy thing. It's like, yeah, like for like basketball, flag football, like the only thing is like, and even like dodgeball, I feel like we would definitely need them to sign waivers because those are like ACL and like, you know, like joints like that we actually need to make sure like we're good.
Yeah, somebody's going down.
Yeah, because like we saw from the softball tournament, people were definitely going down left and right, and like there was sweat, there was tears, there was definitely blood all over the field.
Plenty of blood.
There was a bunch of blood on the field. So, I'll leave it at that. Anything else, boys? We good?
We solid, bro. That was a good one.
We're solid. One thing, DeAndre, if you see Bryce Young next week, don't tell anybody because they're only a week away from camp.
No, we're not supposed to say his name.
You're right. If you see a specific quarterback who got drafted.
We saw a quarterback that played at Alabama that is now possibly playing for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. He wasn't, wasn't number one, I believe. Well, I don't know. I do like that.
He was top 3, but he wasn't 3 or 2.
He was top 3. He wasn't 3 or 2. Definitely went to high school in California, but that could be anybody at this point. That could be anybody. I mean, it could have been DeAndre for all we know. Like he could have been the one playing. So, anyways, thank you for listening to the BluePrint podcast. I didn't say it earlier, but please like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you guys want us to talk about. We appreciate you guys always tuning in. As always, like we said earlier, we have a Venice Mace in the works. So the next episode you guys see hopefully will be with Steve Mason, longtime LA sports radio legend.
Don't call him legend. It makes him feel old.
Oh, really? He doesn't like to be called legend? He doesn't like to be called a legend.
Hey, he's 26. He's 26 at heart. All
right. Anyways, LA sports figure Steve Mason hopefully will be joining us for the next episode. So shout out to D-Hawk, DeAndre Hawkins, Parker Bell, P. Bell. I'm Cody Lou Clue, and this is the BluePrint Podcast. Peace.